Hey there, it's Tamara. Let's talk Will and Jada. So you've been hearing a lot because Will's got his new book out right now. And then Jada has her red table conversation. They've been talking a lot about the relationship and being very open about how things are going and how the relationship has evolved. And they've been really open from the beginning. Here's what we do, here's what we're about. And they're really honest with each other too. Now that you know more, are you feeling uncomfortable? Is some of this creeping you out? Are you wondering if they're breaking their marriage vows? So here are some of the things that are concerning some people. Are they keeping their marriage vows? Because they've been with other people during their relationship. They have been separated, not officially, but taken time apart to kind of get their personal perspective back, individual happiness back. Maybe this isn't how you define marriage, so you're uncomfortable because it seems to you like they're just stepping out, they're not doing the right thing, they're not honoring each other, you're just questioning kind of what's truly going on with them. Are they violating their marriage vows in their eyes? Like in your eyes they are, but now you know that they feel like they are honoring each other and honoring their marriage. So is that another reason it bothers you? They aren't wearing their wedding rings. Is that bothering you? Because married people wear rings in general, but as you've probably noticed as you've, kind of moved along in society, not everyone does wear rings. So let's talk about why this type of marriage, this marriage arrangement works for them. So I'm a dating and relationship coach, and I can see why through what's revealed in the media and what they've chosen to share, why this works for them. And I think they are revealing a lot of authenticity because they always have. Their messaging has been the same about what they need and want through their 20-year relationship. So here's the number one reason it works. They're authentic and honest with each other. Here's what I need and want. So they go off and they think about what they need and want. Like they genuinely spend time sorting through that, processing through that. Then they sit down, and Will says as soon as they open their mouth, they have 4-hour conversations. So they get in depth with each other. What do I need and want? What do you need and want? How are you responding to what I've shared? What do you think about what I've shared? That's really important. Communication. Number one, as you move along in a marriage and you go through the stages of marriage, you've got to be open and communicate about how things are changing for you, how you are evolving as a human, how your relationship with your personal journey is evolving, and how you want to combine that with your partner. So these conversations, in their case, 4-hour conversations, can you bring you closer as a couple and really increase your level of friendship, deepen your commitment. So they've got that one down, communication. Jada was honest from the start. I don't want a conventional marriage. He said, okay. They were really young. She was, and I think he too was 22. They said right from the start, I don't want a conventional marriage. And then Will said, okay, let's just try it. Jada says she's a free spirit. This is who she is. This is just kind of her soul, her spirit, and how she moves about. That's why they've had to revisit things so many times. And I kind of feel in some ways Will is too, so they can meet together on that point. And again, they come back and revisit what type of arrangement they want to have in their marriage all the time, enough to keep it going. They are going to stay married, guys. So despite what you're hearing and the different paths they've taken and different entanglements, to use Jada's word, that they've experienced, they're sticking with it. They're committed. When they talk, they really get in depth. So their communication, they communicate, but it sounds like they communicate well and thoroughly. And even though they might have some passionate discussions, right? They're passionate people. I don't doubt that sometimes they get a little loud, that their conversations go like this, but at the end of the day, they're dedicated to listening and understanding their partner and talking about it until the talking is done. Not leaving the room, or if they leave the room, they come back. Like they make sure that they finish it and they have closure eventually, so that they really have decided and mutually agreed upon whatever arrangement or new changes they want to make in the relationship. They're both open-minded to marriage. So I think that's an extremely important thing to have in common. You and your partner have your view of a relationship. They have their view, and their view is they want to be open-minded about defining the relationship, what it looks like, what that entails, and having that constant conversation. So it might be uncomfortable for other people to kind of look at that and go, I can't even understand or relate to how this is okay, or why this makes sense, or why it works for them, or why aren't they jealous, or why don't they, kind of follow a more traditional path of what we see as traditional marriage. But they have the joint, open-minded viewpoint, and that saves them every time. They're willing to come back to a conversation, be open, and listen, and continue to discuss. Both are very intellectual people, passionate people. So when they have these conversations, they're probably going all over the place and really noodling through things. When they arrive at a decision, they are confident about what their starting point is. It might take a different turn after they give it a try, but to start out, they are on the same page intellectually. They understand it. They understand why it's worth trying this, going this direction. And then their passion takes them to that next step. Let's try it. Let's give it, a full, authentic attempt to see if we like it. Then we come back and we talk about it some more. These deep conversations, intellectual, passionate, spiritual, really deep conversations, have made them best friends. And I think it's their friendship commitment that really makes them stay together, right? This deep connection, this spiritual friendship connection is what keeps them together. So the important thing is that they also agree on family, right? They have a deep respect for their children, having that mutual relationship with their older child's mom, co-parenting, keeping the family together and having that family bond. That's a huge thing, because if one was going this way with family and one felt this way, that would completely change the dynamic. So they have their deep friendship and their respect of family, the family bond. So this is a completely unconventional view of marriage, although now that they've come out front and started talking about it, I'm going to guess we're going to see a lot of other couples come forward and be honest about the unique arrangements they have in their marriage. Because what's important is that the two people agree. You sit down, you decide what you want to try, how you want the relationship to evolve, and you openly communicate. That's what's important. Whatever arrangement a couple decides is fine as long as they both agree. The reason people get divorced and relationships get derailed and there's so much pain and it's so much trauma is because they don't come to an understanding, right? They don't go to therapy. They don't go to a coach. If they can't noodle it out together, that's what needs to happen, right? You can't just get divorced. You have to try. What's working for them is that they understand. So in your relationship, talking, communicating, and that mutual decision, then you come together and you decide what works best for you. So in their marriage, this is what works. In your marriage, this is what works. In your future marriage, you get to decide what works for you. In your current relationship, what is working for you. Then when you feel it's not working anymore, you revisit it, you talk, and you come to a new agreement. So I know it's so easy to judge them. It's so easy to think they're so far off track and they're going to fall apart. That's because our conventional view doesn't at all match up with them. So sit down with your partner, talk about what you want and need, be open and honest with each other, and make an agreement. Decide the way that you want your relationship to develop and be. And you don't have to share it with other people, guys. Between the two of you, you need to have that mutual arrangement agreement so that you can have a best friendship, so you can have a closeness, so you can stay together. So if you ever want to contact me to noodle through these things with you, I'm at true-connection.net. My hope for you is that you and your partner are on the same page, that your relationship has developed into something beautiful and passionate and something that you truly want to honor and cherish, and that it looks the way that you want it to look. True-connection.net. Good luck, guys.